Good morning and happy Tuesday! Yay! Today we're going to be talking about my 4 favorite podcasts. This is a question that I've gotten a lot and I've kind of mentioned it here and there, but I wanted to do an actual scope on it so that we could have it in one scope, so when people ask I can direct them to this. So good morning! Alrighty, I'm almost on time. If you were on my scope yesterday, you know that I am working on the habit of timeliness, and it's going to be a work in progress, but I'm here only a few minutes late. So, oh, Krista, you're still jet lagged. Oh, girl, don't go to South Africa, okay? Oh my goodness, they say that it takes a day per hour of time difference, but sometimes, I don't know, for me with South Africa, it was a 7-hour time difference and it took every bit of 7 days, maybe more. So anyway, welcome. I'm so glad to have you all here. I mentioned we're going to talk about my 4 favorite podcasts, and I've mentioned some of these in the past, but I want to do a full scope on it so that I have it all in one place. So when people ask, I can point them to this, and also because I thought some of you might have missed other scopes when I talked about my favorite podcasts, so I want to just elaborate on that. And then tomorrow, I'm going to share about how I find time to watch Periscopes and listen to podcasts, because a lot of you have asked about that, so I'm going to do a scope on that. So yesterday went so much better. So much better. If you are on my scope yesterday or you read my blog, you know that I have just kind of felt a little bit chaotic and crazy and kind of like I'm drowning, like there's so much to do. So I tweaked some things and I changed my schedule some and moved some things around, and yesterday went so much better. And we even ended up having a 3-hour meeting that I wasn't planning on that had to happen yesterday, and the day was still good. So I was so excited about that. It's amazing when you start your day with intention and you tweak up, sometimes a plan isn't working, so you have to tweak it. And it's amazing. It can make such a difference to just move things around a little bit. So if you are new here, my name is Crystal Payne. I'm the founder of MoneySavingMom.com, as well as the New York Times bestselling author of the book Say Goodbye to Survival Mode. And I'm also the creator of the 14-day online course called Make Over Your Mornings. If you need help with your mornings, because clearly I do, just like I said, changing your morning can change your whole day. So if you would like some encouragement with that, because I need to go back and watch my own stuff and practice what I preach, but that's at makeoveryourmornings.com if you would like some help with how to start your days with intention and not live with so much chaos. So I'm a work in progress right there along with you. So I'm also married to Jesse. We have been married for almost 13 years. It'll be 13 years in January. We have 3 kids. They're 10, 8, and 6. We live in the Nashville, Tennessee area, and we are self-employed entrepreneurs, and we homeschool. And we co-homeschool. I homeschool in the morning, and my husband homeschools in the afternoons. That's a little bit about us. If you are new here, I would love to give you a shout out. So leave a comment and say, I'm new, and tell me what your name is. Please include your name with your comment so that I can make sure and give you a shout out, because I would love to shout out to you. And I'm so glad to have all of it just feels like it's just been growing, and so many new followers recently. Welcome, Maria. So many new followers recently, and you bless me so much for your sharing and the hearts and all that. Well, oh, Olivia, I have been seeing you comment so many places, and I was just on your Instagram the other day. Such an inspiration. Fit Fabulous Mom. If any of you, welcome Krista, welcome Emily. If any of you need some encouragement for being fit and fabulous as a mom, go check out Fit Fabulous Mom. Do you have a site, Olivia? Is it fitfabulousmom.com or is it just Instagram? Let us know. Welcome Amy, welcome Deborah, welcome Sherry, welcome Tandy. I'm so glad to have you all. Okay, so this afternoon, real quick, I want to let you know that I am going to do a scope on how I write and craft a blog post, or how I don't, because I have really bad systems, if you can even call them systems. And so if you want to come and be encouraged that we're all a hot mess and that I don't have this great system, I'm going to share this afternoon because someone asked, how do you write and craft a blog post? How much time does it take you? So I'm going to share with you how that looks for me, how I don't have it all figured out, some resources that might help you with that if you're thinking of starting a blog, and just to be encouraged that we're all in this together. And I don't know, I don't have all the answers, and I am just all about do the best you can do. And so we'll be talking about that this afternoon at 3 p.m. That will be my Money Making Mom Scope. So if you want to learn more about blogging, if you have a blog, if you're thinking of starting a blog, you'll want to be a part of that, because I'll share some mistakes that I've learned and stuff that I'm struggling with, and I think it'll be encouragement. So that's at 3 p.m. Okay, so my 4 favorite podcasts. Number 1, The Laura Ingraham Show. Laura Ingraham is a conservative talk radio show host, but they also have a podcast that's, I think she has a 3-hour talk radio show. I used to listen to all 3 hours when I was first married. We didn't have a TV and we didn't really have internet except for 10 hours a month that we got for free. And so I had a lot of extra time on my hands. And so I would listen to Laura Ingraham Show every day and do handwork. And so I love the Laura Ingraham Show, and I've always been a big fan of the Laura Ingraham Show. She makes me think, she makes me laugh. I love that she challenges the status quo. I don't agree with her on a lot of things, but I love being challenged. And so they have a podcast that they do that's a condensed version of the Laura Ingraham Show. And so that is my first favorite podcast. The second podcast that I love is The Art and Business of Public Speaking. This is by Ken Davis. Ken Davis is the creator of the SCORE program, and SCORE is a program coaching speakers, helping them learn how to communicate better. And Ken has been a comedian and a speaker for years and years and years, and he has so much wisdom to share. So he also brings on some helpful and amazing speakers who have so much experience from a broad spectrum. So that's The Art and Business of Public Speaking, and I especially love it because my manager and friend Brian Shear is the co-host, and so I listen in because I love Ken and Brian and love to support what they're doing, and it's so fun to see them using their gifts in this new avenue. So number 1, The Laura Ingraham Show. Number 2, The Art and Business of Public Speaking. Number 3, Build Your Tribe by Chalene Johnson. Chalene has 2 podcasts. One is more on life and one is more on business. Some of them she will have them overlap, so she'll put the same podcast on both of her different shows. I think the life one is called The Chalene Show, and then Build Your Tribe. Both are good, but right now I'm just listening to subscribe to Build Your Tribe because I find that she has a lot of great things to say. She helps me think outside the box. She challenged me to start on Periscope. I would not be on Periscope without Chalene. And I just love her show and learning from her. Now, truthfully and honestly, that's the one show that I do skip a lot of episodes because I actually go and I look and I see what the title is and what it's about. And if it's something that I think I don't need that information right now, or that's maybe going to make me feel like I need to be doing more, and that's an area that I've chosen that I'm not going to do more in because we can only do so much, I will just skip it. And I'm very big on just skipping it guiltlessly because we don't need to fill our mind with information that's only going to make us feel like we need to be doing more when maybe we need to be doing less. So number 1, The Laura Ingraham Show. Number 2, The Art and Business of Public Speaking. Number 3, Build Your Tribe by Chalene Johnson. And number 4, Sorta Awesome. Sorta Awesome, and I see that Simply Rebecca is on here, and she is one of the co-hosts on Sorta Awesome. Sorta Awesome is by Megan Tietz, and she has, I just love the podcast. There's so much that I love about it. There are 3 different co-hosts, and then Megan is the kind of anchor host, and I especially love when Rebecca is on because I know Rebecca, and she is so fun to listen to. My husband loves to listen when Rebecca's on because she and Megan are so much fun, and I learn so much. Do I agree with everything that they recommend? No, but I have picked up so many great tips and ideas. The first part of their show is where they have the awesome of the week, and they each bring something that they've just loved from the week. Well, I have picked up so many great ideas from that little segment, so many different podcasts to check out and websites to check out and resources to check out from that. And so that's the Sorta Awesome podcast. If you were just to choose one from all of those, I would say that is probably my very favorite. So I hate picking favorites though, because when you pick favorites, then I feel like then it's like other people feel like, well, why not me? So just so you know, that you probably have an amazing podcast that I just haven't listened to yet. So I'd love to hear from you all. What podcasts do you listen to? What are your favorites? What ones should I check out that I maybe have never heard of before that will become my favorites? And if you missed the first part, I'll go back through. So it's the Laura Ingraham Show, The Art and Business of Public Speaking, Build Your Tribe, and Sorta Awesome. And Rebecca, you deserve it. I'm not sweet, I'm just telling the truth. You do such a great job. You're so much fun, you bring so much energy, and I just love your perspective. And I love how real you are and how honest you are, and you're just yourself. And so keep being yourself because we love you. Okay, so tomorrow I'm going to share more about how I find time to listen to podcasts and to watch scopes, where I find that time in my day, because it is something that I prioritize, but how do I fit that in my day? Because it's not like it's taking me extra hours. I'm fitting it into my day in creative ways. So I'll share that tomorrow. Okay, so then I want to read this a quote from this book. We're doing section 2 today from I Used to Be So Organized by Glynis Whitworth. And section 2 was really good. Can you see my book? Can you see all of the... I destroy my books. It's terrible. But there were so many good things. I'm just going to see if I can tell you what section 2 was on overall. It says finding a balanced approach to an ordered life. So the first section from yesterday was on kind of the why behind why you feel disorganized. It was really good. This section is on finding a balanced approach to an ordered life, and I'm going to read one quote to you that just really challenged me. It's kind of a longer quote, but bear with me because it's so good. Disappointment always follows pursuing significance and identity in accomplishments. Productive women like you and me will always struggle with keeping our priorities right. It's much easier to focus on what we can check off our to-do list. Yet without a deep understanding that our significance comes from being loved and accepted by God exactly as we are, upside down priorities will dominate our life. We will be like addicts looking for that next project to feel good about ourselves. We will overload our schedules, overcommit our resources, and leave a path of regrets. I loved that part. It really convicted me to think of being like addicts looking for that next project to feel good about ourselves, and just really challenging myself to think, why am I saying yes to what I'm saying yes to? Why am I feeling overwhelmed at this season of life? Is it because I've become an addict to busyness? Is it because I've become an addict to checking things off, to productivity? I've just really been challenging myself with that, and I wanted to share that quote with you. And also yesterday, I told you that I was going to make 2 changes this week, and I was committing them to you, and I wanted to give you an update. Number 1, I'm committing to work on the art of timeliness, or the habit of timeliness, and I am working on being on my scopes on time, because when I'm on my scopes on time, it kind of tells you that I'm not rushing around in other areas of my life as well. So this morning I was about 5 minutes late, but that's progress. And so this afternoon we'll see if I can be on at 3 p.m. Central Time. So I'm working on that. And yesterday afternoon I was on time. So yay, 2 for 2, yay. Okay, and then I told you that I was working on not checking my email until after after 12:30 p.m. because I discovered that my email, by checking it early in the morning, was cluttering up my brain with so much stuff. And yet I have an assistant now who is helping me with my email inbox, and she's covering stuff so that I don't need to be in there in the early morning or mid-morning. She's there so that I can homeschool my kids. And so I don't need to check early in the morning. But I was still checking because I thought, oh, I don't want to miss anything. Oh, I could get a head start. But what it was doing is it was jump-starting my brain into business mode when I needed to just be in focused home and homeschool mode. So I made that commitment, and actually yesterday I didn't check until 1:30 p.m. So we ended up having a meeting, and I didn't check until 1:30, and it felt so good. And I had such a great quiet morning. My house was clean. I went to bed early last night, and it was so good. So I'm really hoping for another great day today, and I'm committing to you again today that I'm not going to check it until 12:30 p.m. So I'd love to hear from you. I did a blog post yesterday asking people to think of the 1 or 2 habits that you want to work on this week. So think about that. What are the 1 or 2 habits that you really want to work on this week to really help you jumpstart your success, to jumpstart your organization? Little habits can make a big difference. As we saw, the 2 little things of working on being timely for my scopes and working on not checking my email till 12:30, committing those things, they seem like small things, but they made such a big difference in my day. So I'd love to hear from you. What are the 1 to 2 habits that you are going to commit to stick with today and hopefully the rest of this week, and develop that into a habit? And that is going to help you jumpstart your success. It's going to help you have more order and more calmness in your day. So think about the few things. Don't try to do 35. Just 1 to 2 small things that you're going to consistently do day after day after day. That can add up to a big change in your life. So don't forget that this afternoon at 3 p.m. Central Time, I'll be doing a scope on blogging and how I write a blog post, how much time it takes me, and what that process or lack thereof looks like. I think it'll really encourage you if you're a blogger or thinking of starting a blog. And otherwise, I will see you back here tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m. where we'll be talking about finding time to watch Periscopes and listen to podcasts. So I hope you have a wonderful day.